Hello, parents and students. Today, we will be discussing about the content of your Module 2. Module 2 is a continuation of scientific method, where we will be applying the steps of scientific method in performing scientific investigation. But before that, let's have a short review of the previous topics. In your notebook, arrange the following jumbled letters to form the word described in each number. You have 2 minutes to answer, and your timer starts now. For the second part of the review, let's recall the steps of scientific method by arranging the steps from step 1 to step 6. You have 3 minutes to answer this part, and your 3 minutes starts now. Let's check your answers. Number 1, a tentative explanation or solution to the problem based on observation is what we call hypothesis. Number 2, the answer is qualitative. It is the type of data or observation referring to observable traits, description, and characteristics of an object. Number 3, observation. The first step of scientific investigation, which will be done to know the problems that we have around us. And for the second part, first step of scientific method is observe and identify the problem. Next will be perform a background research. Number 3, form a hypothesis. Number 4, test your hypothesis or conducting an experiment. Number 5, record and analyze your data. And number 6, draw a conclusion. We have also discussed the 3 types of variables, namely, independent variable, which is the possible cause of change. It is also called the manipulated variable. Next is the dependent variable. Dependent variable is presumed as effect, and it is also known as the responding variable. And lastly, the control variable, or the control group, which is used for a comparison and is not changed, or it is a constant in an experiment. Let's have another example of those types of variables. If the problem that we wanted to investigate is the question, what temperature of water will dissolve a teaspoon of sugar faster? What will be the independent variable? The independent variable will be the temperature of water. Why? Because we need 2 different temperatures of water, the hot and the cold. Because, according to the problem, we need to compare the rate of the solution of sugar in different temperature. The dependent variable will be the time it takes for the sugar to dissolve. It is the result of changing the temperature of water. Because we change the temperature of water, the time to dissolve the sugar will also be changed. And lastly, the control variable. These are the materials or conditions that will remain constant. The control variable for this problem are amount of water, amount of sugar, the size or type of the cup, and the process of stirring. For another example, the next problem is how does the amount of water affects the pitch of the sound produced by a glass? The independent variable will be the amount of water. The dependent variable is the pitch of the sound produced. And the control variable is the size of cup or glass and the metal fork, as well as the process of tapping the fork in the glass. So, let us now proceed to module number 2. Expectations or the things that you should be able to do are: number 1, formulate hypothesis. Collect, organize, and interpret data about the investigation. Number 2, perform accurate measurements and or design a simple investigation involving community-based problems. Let's do the activity number 1 entitled Wilson's Wheels on page 3 of your module 2. The objectives of this activity are: describe a strong hypothesis and formulate hypothesis. Procedure: read the given selection and answer the questions that follow. Let's read the selection.
Mr. Wilson was a car racer. He almost always ranked first on his fights. One day, he went to his province to visit his father. To his surprise, his father enlisted his name to join on a race car that day. He was never prepared for the said event. He used his father's car, which is of different model than his. Unluckily, he didn't win on the said race.
Let's answer the guide questions. Get your module 2 and read the following questions. First, write at least 3 possible explanations why Mr. Wilson did not win. You have 3 minutes to finish this task, and if you're ready, your timer starts now. There are three hypotheses here for the given problem. Number 1, the wheels of the car is small. Number 2, the wheels of the car is too big and seems most weak to pull. Number 3, wheels of the car is too big and I'm sure it is the cause of his loss. Let's answer question number 1. Which among the three above you think is constructed the wisest? Why? Write your answer on your module. The key concepts that we need to remember from this activity is that hypothesis is a tentative explanation or solution to the problem. Again, tentative means not final. However, we need to formulate a good hypothesis. A good hypothesis is letter A, based on sound reasoning. Letter B, provides explanation for predicted outcome or what you are expecting to happen. Letter C, clearly states the relationship between defined variables. And letter D, testable in a reasonable amount of time. Let's now proceed to the next activity. Activity number 2, entitled Fork a Sound. The objective is to formulate and test hypothesis. The materials that we needed to prepare are water, 3 water glasses of the same size, and metal fork. Hello everyone! Today, we will be doing your activity number 2 in your module 2. We need to have 3 identical glasses or cups and label our glasses with glass 1, glass 2, and glass 3 respectively. So we have the glass 1 or cup 1, cup 2, and cup 3. Now, let's add the water. For glass 1, it should be empty. So we don't need to add water here. For glass 2, let's put a half full of water. And for glass 3, or glass full of water. Let's proceed to procedure number 3. Knock the glasses with metal fork and listen to the sound it produced. Cup 1, cup number 2, and cup number 3. For cup 1, cup 2, and cup number 3. Now, record your observation on table 1 on page 4 of your module number 2. After recording the observation on the table, answer the following guide questions. Number 1, how do you think the water level affects the pitch of the sound produced? Write a hypothesis. Again, in writing the hypothesis, follow the if-then statement. Your hypothesis may go like this. If a glass contains blank amount of water, then the pitch of the sound produced will be blank. Just supply the missing words to complete your hypothesis. Question number 2. Where do you base your hypothesis? Or, what is the basis for the hypothesis that you have formulated? Question number 3. Did your data on the table support your hypothesis? Or, is your hypothesis valid based on the experiment you have conducted? And lastly, number 4, what other questions do you have as a result of this activity? You may write any question that you have think of while doing this activity. We should take note of the important concepts that we can get from this activity. We have learned how to formulate a hypothesis. We should remember that an effective hypothesis is not a simple statement. It offers a clear flow of an experiment, its intentions, and possible results. We have 3 important things to remember in formulating a testable hypothesis. Number 1, state the problem that you are trying to solve. A hypothesis focuses on experiment as it clearly defines the topic. Number 2, try to write the hypothesis as an if-then statement. Example, if a certain action will be taken, then a result is expected. Number 3, define the variable. In scientific inquiry, a hypothesis proposes and investigates the relationship between dependent with the independent variable. Let's remember these key concepts to prevent mistakes in doing a scientific investigation. Now that you already know how to formulate an effective hypothesis, let's try to work on the next activities. Answer activity number 3 on pages 5 to 6. Doing an investigatory project on page 7. Post-test and reflection on page 8. After answering, do not forget to send your outputs on your Google Classroom. Thank you and God bless!